Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years. And now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection. And a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.
Joe Dredge. Mornings on WROK. Over 95 years in the books and still on top. This is Rockford's News Talk 1440 WROK.
6 minutes after 7, News Talk 1440 WROK. It's Riley and Joe. It's a Tuesday morning and a great-looking one, shaping up to be a beautiful day. Sunny and 55 is where we are right now. Winds are calm. No feels like it all going on. Humidity's at 75%. Daytime high today gonna be 86. That's what we're told anyway. Could be more than that. Could be less. But we're guessing 85 to 86. Here's the great thing. Chance of precipitation, 0.
Nice.
We're at 0, and it's supposed to be all sun all day. No clouds, just a beautiful Tuesday. 57's the low tonight. Cooler tomorrow at 73 and partly sunny. 2% chance of precipitation. Thursday, 68 and partly sunny. No chance of precipitation. Friday, 76 and sunny with a 2%. And Saturday is 80 and sunny with a 1%.
Outstanding.
Yeah, we've got a great-looking week.
It's going to be a nice Tuesday, Food Truck Tuesday out of Nicholson Conservatory and area. It's going to be beautiful out there tonight. It'd be there's be lines to be waited in, so I like when the weather's nice.
Oh, yeah. So you've been down enough times.
Yeah.
What's the optimum time for people who are not looking to wait in line forever?
Not 5:30.
Not 5, no, your prime dinner time.
Not
your prime
5:30.
dinner hour, yep.
I think they start at 4 or 4:30. Early, definitely better. Man, I mean, you'd think late too, but no, because it's such a. They've kind of like what happened with City Market. They've made such a good event, and it's so pretty down there, and especially when they made the move to spread it out.
Yep.
And you can just walk along. It's such a great place, and people are bringing lawn chairs and setting up camp and having a little picnic. There's just a lot of people, and people hang out. Go back and go to the ice cream truck, get some dessert. So I would say if you want absolutely avoid lines, get there right when it starts, but because the lines just hang out for the entire time.
But they move them through pretty well, right?
They do move them through pretty well, but I mean 20 minutes in line is been my standard, going there at about 5 minutes, or I'm sorry, about 5:30 in the afternoon. I could go earlier and maybe avoid that, but no, there's a lot of folks, but it's a cool, chill crowd.
Yeah, it's a good social event.
Yeah, great social event. A lot of dogs are out, kids. It's fun. It's fun, but it's they've got a nice little moneymaker there for them.
Just remember, Max is in charge when it comes to dogs.
Oh, he'll let you know.
I'm sure he will.
He's so stupid around dogs. He's so dumb. So dumb. It doesn't matter how big or little they are.
We're going to get a scrap going here.
Yeah. Just and like, he's unaware he's 13 years old and has 8 teeth in his mouth.
Right.
No, he just
and is 15 pounds.
Yeah, just goes after him. Just goes just at the end, and if he on a leash, he's coughing, hacking up stuff.
Lucky this guy's holding me back.
Oh my God, it's embarrassing. It's like your child having a tantrum.
Yep. There have been times Lucy is our dog who will do that, and I can't count the number of times I've literally looked at the dog and gone, you're embarrassing yourself.
You're stupid.
You're embarrassing yourself by doing this.
And he's such a terror, and people literally laugh at him. In his face when he makes those aggressive moves. Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah, that's just what you want. It's just what you want. Yeah, can you imagine Muhammad Ali just pounding away and some good sports writer? Muhammad was so cute when he was throwing a flurry like that. He was adorable.
Really trying.
Boy, that's demeaning, isn't it? So feel free to bring your dog.
Yeah. Max might stay home tonight. 80 mid-80s is...
That's a little on the warm side.
Topping out for old man.
Yeah, I noticed we had some liquid dog going yesterday, and today, mid-80s, chances are going to happen again.
Yeah.
It's 11 after. Shifting gears a little bit, this jumped right out of me because this is one of our favorite topics to jump into, and over the past 5 years or so, it has just gone nuts, and there's more, and there's hearings, and there's this, and it's UFOs.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Headline from studyfinds.org this morning, do aliens love America? 92% of UFO sightings take place in the United States of America.
Oh, really? Okay.
I didn't know this. I didn't know 92%.
That sounds like an accounting error.
It kind of does. Yeah. It says if aliens are real, then they must really love studying American culture. A recent poll finds the U.S. is the UFO hotspot of the entire world, and it is not even close. According to a survey commissioned by bonusfinder.com, a staggering 92% of all reported UFO sightings take place here in the U.S., with 126,094 reported sightings across all states since they started keeping records. Our neighbor to the north, Canada, comes in at number 2. Here's the difference. America, 126,094 reported sightings across all states since record keeping began. Canada, 5,696 sightings during the same period.
All right.
During the same period.
Now, there's so wait, was it between United States and Canada in sightings?
We're at 126,094 since they started keeping records. Canada is at 5,696.
Okay. How many people are in Canada?
I couldn't tell you what their population is.
38 million. So
Okay.
they're a tenth. They're a tenth of the population of the United States. Are they about a tenth of the UFO sightings?
Yeah, it sounds about right. Yeah,
so,
give or take.
I mean, that's kind of matching up
Yeah.
then. A little bit.
A little bit.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, though, alien, quote, spacecraft like to stick around longer up north, with UFO incidents in Canada lasting for over 5 hours per sighting.
Okay.
Here in the U.S., let's see, 17.3. That doesn't tell me hours. Okay, well, anyway, Canada, 5 hours per sighting. UK reported the third most sightings. We're at number 1, 126,000. Canada, 5,696. The UK, 3,146. Germany, 200. Ireland, 166. Netherlands, 153. 128 in Spain, 108 in France, 75 in Portugal, 74 in Italy.
74.
74.
What about some of our other big boy countries? China, do they have any numbers?
I don't have them on this. No, nothing.
No.
Nope.
Russia's not doing anything with UFOs?
Doesn't say.
They don't want to tell us about it, at least?
No matter where people are, though, seeing strange things in the sky, the story is often the same. The poll finds the most common UFO description is of a strangely shaped light or lights in the sky. In the U.S., California tops the list of UFO hotspots. Since UFO record keeping began, there have been 15,480 sightings reported in California. Florida is next at 7,800. Washington State at 6,800. Texas at 5,800. New York at 5,600. That rounds out the top 5 UFO hotspots here in the U.S.
Okay. All right.
Pennsylvania, number 6, but UFOs tend to stick around longer there than anywhere else in the country, staying in sight just under 40 minutes per sighting.
Wow. Okay. All right. I mean, again, it tracks with our most populous states having the most sightings.
Here in Illinois, number 9. So number of sightings per state, California, number 1 by far at 15,480. Florida, 7,800. Washington, 6,800. Texas, 5,800. New York, 56. Pennsylvania, 4,700. Arizona, 4,700. Ohio, 4,200. Illinois at number 9 with 4,131. And the average duration of the sighting is 12 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay.
North Carolina comes in at number 10 at 3,488 sightings and an average duration of 16 minutes. The state that has the longest visits would be Pennsylvania, just under 40 minutes.
Sounds good.
Quoting from bonusfinder.com, difficult to tell whether we're seeing a genuine spike in UFO sightings, and if so, what it means, or whether what's happening is a higher proportion of sightings being reported as a result of the current mainstream media coverage of the subject. Sometimes the fear of being disbelieved or ridiculed can dissuade people from coming forward, but the stigma has decreased sharply in recent years as a result of the U.S. Navy videos, interest from Congress, and numerous other revelations about military UFO sightings and government engagement on the topic.
By the way, that list of states leading the way. The one kind of outlier is most of them were top 10 in population anyway, except for old Washington. They're 13, and they were number 2 on the list, right?
Yeah.
Of overall. So Pacific Northwest keeping its title
spot
of being weird. Oregon on the list? Anywhere?
The state of Oregon. Hold on a second. No. Not on the top 10 list.
The top 10.
Not in the top 10.
Okay, all right.
And another new survey reveals that almost 1/5 of academics have reported encounters with UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, which most people still refer to as UFOs. One of the 1,460 university professors in the poll, 19% claimed they or someone they knew saw an unidentified flying object moving through the sky. The survey, taken by academics across 144 American universities and spanning 14 disciplines, exposes a keen interest among some of the brightest minds to unravel what's going on up in the sky. As many as 37% expressed a degree of interest in conducting research into unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Okay. Why do you think that is? Why do you think more academics have seen it?
I don't know. Probably because many of the sightings have involved an academic to begin with.
Maybe. Okay.
So maybe that has it's not just, Zeke and George down in a flat bottom boat in Soggy Crotch, Georgia. I mean, you got people who are working at universities, working the telescopes and all that, who are seeing things.
Okay. And military pilots.
And military pilots. Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's where it stands right now. Or importance, 64% considered academia's involvement in UAP research very important or absolutely essential. Well, it would certainly help. Certainly help if you got some guy in Belvedere who says he saw something, but then the professor at MIT goes, yep, I saw it too.
Yeah, or some University of Chicago. Yeah, that was here.
Yep, we saw that. Yeah, somebody who works in the Fermi lab seconding the in motion from the guy in Belvedere. Well, then, chances are there's a little bit more credibility there.
Okay.
So 92% of UFO sightings right here in the U.S.
I really want to see one. I think.
You think?
I think. Yeah.
I definitely do.
Yeah.
And I will go on record as saying I've never seen anything of the kind. The only thing that could maybe count for it, we watch for the ISS. The ISS comes over Rockford all the time, and you can grab the app, and it'll literally send you a notification going, you got 5 minutes.
Go out,
and the ISS will be coming over. It'll be going from southwest to northeast. It'll be visible for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is, and let you know. And at our house, both Amy and Spencer have it.
Oh, they do? Okay, all right.
And it has this particular notification tone. So I always know if I'm sitting there and I hear their phones go, I instantly walk out of the patio.
Time to go outside.
Within 5 minutes, we're going to get a look at the ISS. Well, the ISS generally will go from west to east.
Okay.
It's generally how you see it coming over Rockford. Well, I was out on the patio, and the ISS is also the thing. It's easy to spot. It moves faster than anything else you're seeing in the sky.
Yeah.
And it doesn't blink.
Yeah, it looks like it could be like a plane that you see at night.
Yeah, very, very high up and moving very, very quickly, but no blinking lights on it. It's a static light because it's the sun reflecting off of it.
It's just scooting across.
So I was standing out on the patio, and I looked up, and I see going from dead north to dead south, the same pattern like the ISS.
Oh.
Just flying over. So I yelled to those guys, hey, I didn't hear anything about a notification. I'm watching the ISS right now. And my wife goes, there's no ISS coming through for another 7 hours.
Oh.
And when it does, it's coming southwest to northeast. Where's the one you're looking at? I'm watching the one going north to south. They both came out and looked, and we just saw it heading south over.
Okay.
Not the ISS.
All right.
Don't know what it was.
But moved just like the ISS.
It moved just like the ISS.
Probably another satellite.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It might have been one of Elon's things or Starlink, something like that. I wasn't jumping around going, I see one now.
There's quite a few things orbiting Earth right now.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. When you look at the number of things that we have set up that are orbiting the planet right now.
I mean, it's kind of annoying, but I get where some of the scientists are coming from, the astronomers saying there's a lot of things in our field of vision right now. I think they just want some organization up in the sky. Because I don't know how much organization we have right now.
That's a great question.
Different countries doing it. Are they all on the same plan? Yeah, there's
By the way, there's more than 8,000 man-made objects, large and small, floating in near-Earth orbit.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of space, no pun intended, up there. But I mean, is there something in place to make sure you're not on the same line that sure it's going to rotate fine 5,000 times, but that 5,000 first time they're just going to smash?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, we've got a perfect launch. Everything's great, but we're on the trajectory. We're going to plow right into something else.
I mean, we've sent a lot of things up there. China sent a bunch of things up there. Have we talked?
Russia, Japan.
Yeah. Have we talked? Make sure we're not going to the same place.
I hope.
Yes.
NASA, by the way, as far as space debris and human spacecraft, more than 27,000 pieces of orbital debris or space junk are tracked by the Department of Defense's Global Space Surveillance Network sensor.
Are tracked?
Much more debris, too small to be tracked, but large enough to threaten human space flight and robotic missions exist in near-Earth space environment.
Wow. Okay.
So both the debris and the spacecraft are traveling at extremely high speeds at about 15,700 miles per hour in low Earth orbit. An impact of even a tiny piece of orbital debris with a spacecraft could create huge problems.
Okay. All right. Good thing to keep an eye on.
Well, it wasn't long ago. There was something that was punctured on, the ISS? Something like that?
Someone threw a sail.
Where they think that something about the size of a raisin blew through 4 layers of metal.
Yeah, and there's 27,000 of those floating around up there?
Yep. Okay. Yep. So, you can imagine that you're seeing stuff. But, for those who are fascinated by all that sort of stuff, grab the ISS app or go online and just say notifications for the ISS. It's fun to just stand out in your backyard here in Rockford and look up and see it come over.
Do you get is there a thing for Starlink too, where you can get
yes,
alerts?
There are Starlink alerts as well when they're deploying more. Which is, if you're lucky enough, that time that I called you,
yes,
when there was a string of them going
15.
Across the sky, 15 or more going across the sky, exactly spaced at exactly the same speed. Very weird to look up and see that.
It's like a string of pearls in the sky.
Yep, but you can get an alert on that if you're interested in seeing that too.
Good sky stuff.
7:22. Clay and Buck are here after 11. Here's what they'll get into.
Tuesday edition. Clay Travis, Buck.
Over 95 years in the books and still on top. This is Rockford's News Talk 1440 WROK.
7:36 at News Talk 1440 WROK. It's Riley and Joe. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning with clear skies, sunshine, 58 degrees on our way toward 86. Chance of precipitation today holding at 0. Yeah, we got a couple of days this week that we've got that 0 today and Thursday as well. The rest of the week, Wednesday 2%, Friday 2%, Saturday 1%. But 0 Thursday and 0 today.
Not bad.
There will be cooling down though. 86 today. We hit 73 Wednesday, 68 Thursday. We're back to 76 on Friday. Then we hit 80 on Saturday. So this is the warm day of the week.
I'm sorry, just 73 tomorrow. What are we going down to tonight?
57 is our low tonight.
Okay.
44 is our low Wednesday night. 42 is our low Thursday night. We're at 46 Friday night. 52 on Saturday night.
Okay.
All right. You and I were talking, I don't remember if it was on or off the air. We're talking a little bit of Mount Everest, and this is climbing season. This is the month where everybody goes up to try to summit Everest. It doesn't happen year-round because of the weather conditions. May is about the only time. There are a couple of other scattered exceptions, but May is generally when everybody heads to the Himalayas to make their summit attempt at Everest. Sure. Then you got people who stand head and shoulders above everybody else, like Kami Rita.
The Sherpas?
Yeah. Sherpa guide Kami Rita has scaled Mount Everest for a record 28th time.
28th, okay.
28 times, breaking his own record less than 1 week after he set it.
Oh, wow.
2 guides competed with each other for the title of most climbs of the world's highest peak. The idea, you did it last week. And I did it again this week.
Do it again. It's just a walk in the park.
For your average Everest attempter, you gather up everything, you marshal up your money. It's very expensive to go do this. It's going to run you about $100,000 for an attempt.
Expensive. How much is that as the permit? Like, is half of that about the permit?
I think the permit runs at about $30K, something along those lines, maybe more. But then there's the equipment, then there's the hiring of guides, then there's the getting yourself back and forth. There's food,
it's a lot.
It is a very expensive undertaking. Kami Rita, considered one of the greatest mountain guides of all time, reached the 29,032-foot summit at 9:20 in the morning local time yesterday, according to expedition organizer Seven Summits Treks. His latest climb comes a day after fellow Sherpa guide Pasang Dawa matched his record of 27 trips to the top.
How do you spell this guy's name, by the way?
Kami Rita, Kami. Last name Rita, Rita. So matched his record, 27. Race for the title began with Pasang Dawa climbing the peak for the 26th time on May 14th, which tied Kami Rita's previous record. Then Rita went on to the peak 3 days later for his 27th time.
Wow.
With a few more days left in the spring climbing season, both Sherpa guides were on the mountain helping their clients up the snowy peak, May, the busiest month, blah, 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 blah. Kami Rita first summited Everest in 1994 and is making the trip nearly every year since. He's one of many Sherpa guides whose expertise and skills are vital to the safety and success of foreign climbers who want to make it to the top. You don't do it without the Sherpas.
No, you just don't. You just don't. It always...
They're an amazing people.
They do get the credit, but they're almost sometimes an afterthought of, when everyone says they climbed, well, you did and somebody else did.
Well, and the fact the Sherpas went up before you put ladders across and hung ropes and did other things to make that climb a little bit easier on the way up. They went up when there was nothing.
There's nothing.
Yep.
It's crazy. Are you allowed to do it sans Sherpa?
I think so.
Okay, if you say
you are.
I got this, I don't.
And I believe
help.
there are mountaineers who have done it without Sherpa guides because they've been there enough times they kind of know their way around.
But also when you're in the climbing season, you're not doing any of this by yourself. I mean, there's about how many people? 100 maybe at these camps at a time.
I would think probably about that.
Okay.
There's a lot, and as the years continue on, it seems like more and more people are going to make the attempt. Or you get the ones who are just hanging out at base camp, which, I might make it that far.
Is that a thing? People go to base camp and then turn around?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there's plenty of people who just want to get there to the base and see what it's like and all that and have no plan on trying to summit that mountain. By the way, according to the Nepalese legislation, every international mountaineer must engage a native Sherpa guide.
Okay.
Climbers planning a trip to Everest should hire a local business to provide all the necessary camping and cooking gear, as well as service workers for the summit attempt.
Okay.
So you're supposed to to do it.
I'm sure part of that is safety. Part of that is to make sure these guys are employed the whole time. By the way, I say guys, is it a solely male?
I don't know the answer to that one. If are all Sherpas male or if we have male and female Sherpas? That's a great question. I know that this provides for families for the year.
Yeah, I was just going to get to that. While you look at that, just from his Wikipedia page, pretty interesting guy. Born and grew up in Thame or Thame, Thame, small village in Nepal, living with his large family in a one-room house. Thame is also the birthplace of Tenzing Norgay.
Oh, Tenzing Norgay.
Norgay, yeah,
yep.
Norgay.
Who went up with Edmund Hillary.
Hillary achieved the first ascent of Everest in 1953. In his youth, he considered becoming a monk, but did not pursue the vocation. In a 2018 report, say that Rita lives with his wife and two children in Kathmandu. He's ensured his children are getting an education to enable them to choose occupations that are less dangerous than guiding mountaineers. We were illiterate and poor, and there were no other means of survival back then. As a result, we were compelled to climb dangerous mountains to eke out a living. In another 2018 report, his wife is quoted as saying that she wished her husband would retire from mountaineering. I keep telling him we could look for other jobs, start a small business, but he does not listen to me at all. She also confirmed that their children will not become mountain guides.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a say in that.
I think he's going to listen to that one. So he climbed his first time in 1994. In 2018, when his wife told him to retire, he has since climbed it once in 2018, twice in 19, once in 21, once in 22, and twice now this year.
Wow. So. That's amazing. That is just, it's the family business. It's what we do.
Yep.
By the way, there are female Sherpas.
There are
female Sherpa guides. Lapka Sherpa has climbed Mount Everest 10 times, the most ascents ever by a woman.
Wow.
Has no plans on slowing down, according to an interview she gave in February of this year.
Okay.
So, yep, they do pretty well. Sherpas make about $37.22 an hour. Average pay for a Sherpa who is a guide on Mount Everest is $77,410 per year.
Okay.
That's the average.
I mean,
that's the average.
It's a decent wage.
It's a good wage.
It's a tough life.
Oh, are you kidding me? Instant death is around every corner.
I'm looking at all of his climbs here, and in a lot of these is labeled as a high altitude worker. So that's the people that they're going up first.
Yep.
In the wild territory to figure out the right path for this year.
Let's get everything right this
Wow.
year. Yep. According to explorersweb.com, as of this morning, through the weekend, winds picked up on Mount Everest, making progress tougher for the latest would-be summiters. More importantly, conditions impeded a rescue of a sick climber with tragic consequences. Jason Kennison of Australia fell sick shortly after starting his descent from the summit on Friday, dead on the balcony at 8,300 meters.
Wow.
Quote, Kennison was with my top Sherpa and second top Sherpa. He was doing well on the ascent. The whole team summited together at 9 o'clock in the morning on the 19th. After about 15 minutes on the windy summit, they started to descend, and Jason was uncoordinated and slow. Weather got too bad. 7 hours later, they finally got to the balcony, which is a step down, at which point Jason was completely unresponsive. The Sherpas had run out of oxygen at least 3 hours earlier. They hadn't been able to move him for at least an hour. The winds were horrendous, and I was risking the Sherpas' lives at that point. I radioed them, made the call to tell them to leave Jason and descend down to the next level.
Yikes.
Which is why there are bodies all over Mount Everest, because in most cases, they can't get you out of there and live themselves.
And it's not like you're going to deteriorate up there. You don't need to worry about, decay.
Right. And well, they found George Mallory's body. He disappeared on his. They think that he may have summited before Sir Edmund Hillary did, but he didn't make it back down again. They found Mallory's body. He was lost in 1924. They found it, I think, about 15 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in a state of near perfect preservation.
So he was lost in
1924. Yeah, and was just found, I believe, after the turn of this century.
And then almost 30 years later is when Hillary did it?
Yeah, Hillary did it in 53.
Yeah, Wow.
Yep.
That's an astonishing feat if he actually did get up there 30 years prior.
Right.
And I'm assuming there were attempts in between.
There probably were, yeah. But, it was Mallory, and I forget who his climbing partner was. But, their thought is that they probably did hit the summit, but were killed on the way down.
Wow.
Lost somebody else at Camp 2 yesterday. Sherpa collapsed at the helipad at Camp 2 from a suspected heart attack.
Oh, geez. Losing Sherpas.
People are dying on Everest almost daily this climbing season, except for the 3 Nepali climbers who perished after collapse on the ice fall. None died in a climbing accident, but rather from health issues.
Okay.
There have been a dozen deaths this year.
A dozen deaths this year?
This year. 2019, 11 people dead because of the traffic jam near the summit. This year, reports of long lines at the Khumbu Icefall, but not on the upper sections.
So, and this has only been going on since the beginning of May.
Correct.
So, about a person a day we're losing?
Yep. It looks so. It looks that way. One guy fell from 8,500 meters.
Okay.
No hope of finding the body.
It's gone.
They just announced that where that person fell, there is no recovery.
That's where it's going to
That's it.
be.
That's where it's going to be.
Wow. Okay.
So, yep. And one of the most renowned mountaineers of all time who has summited Everest multiple times without supplemental oxygen, Ed Viesturs.
That's right.
I believe a West High grad.
Local guy.
Yeah, local guy. Doesn't live here any longer. I believe lives out in Colorado, something like that. But one of the world's most accomplished mountaineers right here from Rockford, Illinois.
I mean, I get it. There's more mountains to climb in Colorado.
It's kind of tough here, and you got Scales Mound without supplemental oxygen. I don't know how a guy makes it.
He's just out at Aldine Park climbing the dam every other day.
You swing by Pecatonic on your way there to see if there's any Sherpas hanging around.
Yeah.
Where you going?
Anybody.
Scales Mound. Hey, come on, man. That's crazy talk. 748 News Talk 1440 WROK.
Zaxby's has been perfecting chicken fingers for 30 years. And now we're going to the sea. Shrimp butterflied and fried to perfection. And a perfect blend of Zax sauce and cocktail sauce called Zax Tail Sauce. The perfect southern fried shrimp meal. Woo, saucy! Zaxby's.